it is a thrilling finale to the Formula One season. The reigning champion, Lewis Hamilton, is 12 points behind his Mercedes teammate, the World Championship leader, Nico Rosberg. They go head-to-head in the duel in the desert, Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. What a way to end the season. And to talk about all of that, we're going to speak to one of the best journalists in the business when it comes to Formula One. It's the Metro's Formula One correspondent, Adam Hay-Nicholls. He's been able to squeeze time in to speak to us this morning before he flies off to the desert. Adam, welcome to Sportuccino. How are you doing this morning?
Good, thanks for having me.
It's great to have you on the show, Adam. How much are you looking forward to this weekend's Grand Prix?
I'm really looking forward to it, and thank goodness that it has come down to the wire. I think it's really well set up for being the perfect finale, really. Obviously, the title is to a certain extent out of Lewis Hamilton's hands. All he can do is go out and win it. And he's rather dependent on Nico Rosberg having a bit of a fumble and falling off the podium. But with people like Max Verstappen charging hard for the podium these days, I have a feeling that it's not going to be a straight cut as some people think.
Do you think Nico Rosberg might be slightly thinking, after losing the last few races and, well, Hamilton winning them, that Rosberg almost might have a little thing of a point to prove by winning this final race, saying, look, I've won it, I'm the champion, I'm the best, I've had the most first place finishes? Or is he going to be smarter than that and going, look, just finish behind Lewis and you're the world champion?
Well, I think he's going into it very, very confident, more confident than we've seen him in the past. 2 years ago, we went down to the wire in Abu Dhabi, but he is a more complete driver than he is now. I think he feels, as a lot of people do, that this is his year. I don't think that it's going to be a problem for him psychologically to get on terms and to get the job done. However, I don't see him going all out and risking everything for the glory of crossing the line first. I think he will play the safe game. I don't think he'll take any risks, and I think that he'll quite happily, round out the podium if needs be, and just pick up the points to seal the deal.
What about the track? Is Abu Dhabi the right place to be having this finale? You know, I know the weather played a massive part last time in Brazil, Interlagos, but that's a bit more of a tricky track than, say, Abu Dhabi. Do you think it should be there? Do you think it should be maybe at somewhere else in the future?
As a track, as a spectacle for throwing up unconventional races and things like that, it's not really a classic, but it looks great. It looks like a track from the future, and it's a very good place to round out the season, I think, because it's got a terrific party atmosphere. There are all sorts of things going on there, with concerts and parties and things like that. So it does have a kind of end of term feel, and having it as a twilight race, starting in the daytime and ending in the night, is novel. It's very telegenic, and although it might not throw up a sort of classic kind of race like a Montreal or a Suzuka, it's not bad, and the improvements that they made to the track a couple of years ago have helped overtaking. So I like Abu Dhabi, and it's a good place to finish the season.
Yeah, I've been to Ferrari World. I've been on those rides there, but never done the track, obviously. You mentioned Max Verstappen. Just how good is he? Is he going to be an all-time great?
Yes. From what we've seen, he's very, very, very special. And it's actually been very impressive with Red Bull this year, and with Renault as well, that they've managed to claw back so much. And in many ways, although Mercedes were undoubtedly the team of the year, I think that Red Bull were the most improved team of the year. He could well find himself in a position next year that he's in a car that can properly challenge and not just pick up wins when Mercedes drop the ball.
Where do you think that might be, Adam?
When?
Where do you think? What car do you think that might be?
Well, I think the Red Bull next year will be a car that can. I mean, it's going to be very hard pressed to beat Mercedes for the championship, but I think that they can win more consistently and on pure merit.
Okay, and this race could be the last for Jenson Button. Do you think it will be?
Yeah, unfortunately, and it's a bit sad really because we've had it with drivers before where they sort of hedge their bet slightly and say, well, it might be a sabbatical. You know, Mika Hakkinen did that, and then it turned out that he never came back. And I think it's highly unlikely that Jenson will once he's tasted freedom away from the track, and once McLaren bed in with Stoffel Vandoorne. I don't think that there's really going to be a place for him, at least with a car and a deal that sort of suits his status. So I think it'd be a great shame, after 16 years to lose him, because he's a hell of an asset to Formula One. And at the same time, we're losing Felipe Massa, but Felipe's, I think, going about it the right way, which is to say, this is pure retirement, and I'm out, and let's have a big party, and we wish them both the best because they've both been around for a long, long time.
And one person already leaving the motorsport world from McLaren is Ron Dennis. They brought in, I believe it's Zak Brown now to take over there. What have you made of all the changes they're making?
Well, we'll see how it plays out. Zak Brown is he's very well known in the paddock. He's very well known to McLaren. Commercially, he's as experienced and senior as they come. He's run racing teams as well, his own racing teams, but on a much smaller operations than McLaren, of course. So I have no doubt that he's going to be commanding the commercial side very successfully. And I suppose the good thing with him is that he gets on well both with all the shareholders really. So he might be able to calm the waters a little bit with Ron Dennis. That's become quite acrimonious, and it will be interesting to see if Ron makes an appearance in Abu Dhabi, because there are rumours that he will be, in order to sort of get his support base on side and tie up whatever commercial and entrepreneurial things he wants to do in the future. So that all eyes will be on McLaren this weekend, and it's been a tough year for them. It's been a tough 2 years, and everybody really wants to see them show major improvement next year with Honda. And so there's a lot of pressure on Zak Brown, Eric Boulier, and all the guys there.
We'll have to see what happens there. So Adam, come on, let's get a prediction. What do you think is going to happen on Sunday?
Well, from my point of view, it's nice when you have a new champion crowned, and as I say, I think it is Nico's year. However, if he gets second place or third place and ties up the title on Sunday, it'll be I guess the fairy tale that we want to see is for Lewis to win it, because that's the more unexpected result. And I don't think that it's going to go to script, and I think that there will be a bit of drama. I'm hoping there will be. Quite often, in these kind of situations, when you think that it's going to go one way, it really does go the other. And I can see it either being tougher for Rosberg than he expects, or for Lewis to just boss it and somehow retain that crown. And to be honest, that's really what I'm hoping for, because that would be the fairy tale.
Well, it's going to be a thrilling finale, the duel in the desert, Rosberg versus Hamilton, the finale at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Adam, it's been great to get your thoughts. Just before you go, tell us how we can continue to follow what you're up to on social media and everything else that's going on in your world right now, please.
Yeah, well, of course, I write all the Formula One stuff in Metro, so I'm in that paper every day, and I'm on Twitter at Adam Hay-Nicholls, all one word, and on Instagram as Adamski173.
Wonderful. I'm following you on Twitter, but not yet on Instagram. I'll get on to that after the show. Adam Hay-Nicholls from the Metro there, Formula One correspondent. Thank you so much for your time this morning on Sportuccino.
Thanks very much indeed.